Petra.com Black Friday specials, Pheed tries to imitate its more successful competitors, practical jokers at LG, a group of teens get themselves caught for a break-in, and old New York City phone booths undergo a facelift. I'm Monica Helms with Petra Industries, here to bring you 5 of this week's hottest news stories, all right here on Petra Channels. Not that you need a reminder, but we have just 30 days left before Black Friday. Make sure to take advantage of our daily rotating Black Friday specials while they last. Today, it's the Xbox 360 Rock Band 3 Pro Guitar Bundle with game, Petra part number 215122. It includes the full Rock Band 3 software and 5 downloadable Red Hot Chili Pepper songs. Don't forget to tell your customers, the guitar in this bundle also comes with 17 frets with 6 buttons per fret, allowing users to learn to play a real guitar without leaving the comfort of their own homes. This deal won't last long, and neither will the rest of our Black Friday specials, so stay sharp. In perhaps an overzealous attempt to combine all of the good parts of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and more, Pheed promised a social media revolution, and instead brought some kind of circus freak show act. Just like pretty much everything else on the internet, you sign up, you follow people, people follow you. Sounds simple enough. The catalyst for Pheed was that the network's founder felt that Instagram was too simple. Since apparently easy-to-use, highly addictive, mostly stable apps aren't really his thing, he instead set out to create a sort of Frankenstein product with more shareable elements. Much like Twitter and Tumblr, users can like, dislike, and bookmark the content of others, as well as comment on anything and everything any other users post. Sounds kind of messy and complicated, which we all know is a recipe for social media success, right? Even better, the one unique aspect of this social network is that it's designed to let notable users charge for their content. If you honestly believe that Chris Brown and Paris Hilton are capable of producing such provocative online content that it's worth paying for, then, well, you deserve to pay for it. The writer of this Gizmodo article felt that Pheed is way more likely to quietly disappear than to actually become successful, and I have to say, I agree. A couple of practical jokers over at LG had some fun this week when they decided to show off their new high-resolution IPS monitors with lifelike colors. How did they do this? I'm so glad you asked. They accomplished this by refitting the bottom of an elevator with the screens, and then monitoring people's reactions as they rode the elevator to the chosen floor. Did I mention that these screens were programmed to look as though the elevator's floor was dropping out? As each passenger rode, the lights would dim and the fake tile of the monitors would appear to suddenly drop down the elevator shaft, much to the dismay of those riding on the elevator. As you can imagine, the brand got some pretty interesting reactions. Mostly smiles as people picked up on the joke, but one woman even chose to exit the elevator as soon as possible after the effect occurred. I can't say I blame her, I probably would have done the same. Lucky for LG, no one had a heart attack during filming. Of course, it's possible they were using actors, but judging by some of these reactions, I don't think that's the case. The YouTube clip ends with a tagline describing the new monitors as so real it's scary. Well played, LG. I think everyone has heard about some of the creative ways people have used technology to catch thieves in the act of stealing or otherwise violating the rights of others. I mean, we've got things like Find My iPhone, theft tracking software like Hidden, and so on. It's not as often, however, that you hear about abusers getting caught due simply to their own, let's call it carelessness. In South Carolina, a group of teens broke into a house while a family was on summer vacation, had a party, then came back the next day and cleaned up. The family came home, found nothing particularly out of the ordinary, and no one was the wiser. And it stayed that way for months, until one day the family was directed to a series of photos on Facebook. Not only were the teens tagged in the photos, and identifiable by the homeowner's teenage daughter as classmates, the family pictures on the fridge in the background of these photos confirmed their location, leaving out any doubt that the teens could be anywhere else. I won't go into what these guys were taking pictures of themselves doing, but if you can imagine the kind of heightened intellect of someone who would post Facebook photos of themselves breaking into a house in the first place, I don't even need to add a punchline to that one, do I? Efforts are being made for the adaptive reuse of old phone booths. In New York City, a company called City 24/7 is working to make these outdated structures useful again by providing an information portal with a 32-inch touchscreen. Granted, a lot of the capabilities of these repurposed phone booths are comparable to the benefits of using the cell phone you've probably already got in your back pocket, but there are definitely a few advantages to these things. For one, the information is already hyper-localized. Traffic jams, bus delays, warnings of local environmental hazards, all clearly displayed for passerbys to read. The booths also offer secret sales, exclusive walking tours, landmark information, and place-based gaming. It's not all fun and games, though. The booths also serve as Wi-Fi hotspots, which can help with public safety, giving citizens a convenient place to notify authorities in case of an emergency. You can even use these things to pull up restaurant reviews. Granted, you can do that with your phone, but the screen is bigger and the booth already knows where you are. The 2-year pilot of its screens is wrapping up, and 250 more of these smart screens are expected to pop up in coming months, possibly even in your city. That's all for this week's 5 and 5. Check back next week for more hot industry news.